My name is Catherine Lopez, and today I will be speaking of a couple of the learning objectives that we learned from intellectual disabilities in Module 5. The first objective that I will be speaking of is number 3, which says state and explain some of the known causes of intellectual disabilities. One of the known causes of intellectual disabilities is brain damage, which has been debated through research, but evidence, however, has shown that structured instruction can change the way the brains of children with reading disabilities process information. Another known cause of intellectual disabilities is perinatal stress, which are traumatic events that occur during the perinatal period, such as prolonged labor and delivery, low birth weight, or illness. Another known cause of intellectual disabilities is genetics, which has provided the most research to focus on attempts to identify genes that may be responsible for learning differences. The second learning objective that I will be speaking of is number 4, which says discuss some of the learning characteristics of individuals with intellectual disabilities. One learning characteristic of individuals with learning disabilities is perception, which is the ability to organize and interpret the information that is experienced through the senses. However, children with disabilities often reverse words and letters during reading or writing. Another learning characteristic of individuals with learning disabilities is how some students who experience difficulty when having to focus on information. These disorders are identified as attention deficit disorder, ADD, or attention deficit / hyperactivity disorder, or ADHD. Another learning characteristic of individuals with learning disabilities is how students may experience deficits in their working memory, which does not allow them to learn information in broken down and simpler parts. The third learning objective that I chose is number 7, which says describe teaching methods and materials that can be used to help students with intellectual disabilities achieve their learning potential. Teaching methods that can be used to help students with intellectual disabilities are direct instruction and strategy instruction. In direct instruction, the teacher first models a skill or response, then provides guided practice, and finally elicits independent student responses. In strategy instruction, the teacher provides the student a presentation of steps. Students first absorb how to use a strategy, practice, and receive feedback before attempting the strategy on their own. It teaches specific skills in a manner that controls potential problems and a student's ability to identify important information or steps, organizes the steps for the students, provides continual prompt for remembering, and breaks the task into component parts. Thank you, everyone, and I hope that this video is beneficial not only to you that are watching, but to me as well. Thank you. Have a good night.